Hello everyone, Tina here. Happy New Year's Eve to you all. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Thank you so much for joining me. We're back on track with the Try It Out Tuesday, and so today we are trying out a stamp set from my favorite things. It's probably been out for a while, but sometimes I'm a little late to the party when I get my hands on some stamp sets that I really like, or I wait till they go on sale. But this one here is called Polar Bear Pals, and it's so cute. I'm going to color in just one of the polar bears with Copic markers, stamping him with Memento Tuxedo Black ink on some alcohol marker friendly paper, cardstock. Isn't he cute? I just love the way he's sitting, but I'm going to play a little music while I color him in, and then when I'm done coloring, I will get you back. Okay, coloring is all done, and I think he's so cute. Polar bears and pandas are so easy to color. So I'm going to use my scissors and fussy cut him out. Now there are coordinating dies that go with the stamp set, and I'll link them in the description area. But he was pretty easy to cut out, just leaving a little bit of a white border. I just trimmed him out and he's ready to go. Now we're going to work on our background. I'm going to bring in 2 pieces of white cardstock. And I'm going to bring in my double stitched rectangle dies. I'm going to create a 1/4 inch frame using 2 of them. So those will be on one panel. On the next panel, we're going to bring in a circle die and die cut out a circle. The circle, I wanted to create a huge snowball for my polar bear to sit on. So once these are die cut, we're going to work on our background panel. I'm just going to use the cardstock that I used for stamping my polar bear on. He lined up beautifully to the size of my frame. I'll just trim it down a little bit, and then we're going to add a little color here using some Distress Oxide inks. So this is my craft mat. I'm going to use a stencil from MFT. This is the Drifts and Hills stencil, and so I thought we'd make some oval, not really oval, some just uniform hills all along this panel here. We're going to start off by using some broken china. Add a little bit of shading to the very bottom. I'm going to try not to get my nails because that's what I just did. Okay, I have PIXIE spray on the back side of my stencil, so it's still a little bit tacky, which makes it really nice. If you guys haven't used the PIXIE spray before, you will love it, I promise. It's great for detailed stencils and full ones like this. So I raised the stencil up about 1 inch. And then I'm going to go in with my second color. Now when I go in with my second color, I'm not going to go all the way down to the blue that we just colored in. I wanted to leave a little bit of like a white halo. So that's what I'm doing. After Twisted Citron, I'm going to go in with peacock feathers. We're going to do the same. Lovely. And then I'll raise up my stencil once more. And then we're going to add Squeezed Lemonade. Since it's a lighter color, I did wipe my stencil off. And I didn't really like the Squeezed Lemonade, so we're going to adjust it just a little bit by using the blending tool that had the peacock feathers on there, and just add a slight shading to the top of that. So all we have left is the very top of our panel, and I'm going to go back in with our broken china, the blue. And that is our background. You can see if you don't go all the way down to the bottom of your stencil line and leave a little bit of white area, it just kind of makes your background pop a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to keep our craft mat out because I thought we'd add some sparkle using a Polka Dot Stencil. The one I have is from Heidi Swap, and I don't think it's available anymore. In fact, I have a new stencil that's on order, but I'll link a substitute down below in case you guys want to check out a polka dot stencil. To add sparkle, I'm going to be using some Nuvo Glimmer, I want to say Glimmer plates because I'm so used to the Spellbinders Glimmer plates, but I'm using Nuvo's Glimmer paste. And I'm just spreading it all over my polka dots in the background. Glimmer paste is nice because it's a nice warm goldish iridescent glitter paste. So nice. I had leftover on my spatula tool here, so I just went over the right side of my snowball. And as I get ready to lift off my stencil, I realized I had missed a few spots, so we're going to fix that. Now the Glimmer paste in Moonstone dries real fast, so I'm going to lift up my stencil and let this dry a little bit. Just kind of clean up the edges a bit, and I'll take my spatula and my background mat and my stencil. We're going to wash that real fast before it dries. And plus it gives me a little time for my background panel to dry. I think it's workable now. So now what we're going to do, normally I like to pop up my frames, but today we are going to directly adhere the frame to our background panel. I just used glue, liquid glue. In fact, it's oozing all over my hands. I gotta keep wiping it. But I'm going to trim off the excess so my background panel is ready to go. Okay, we have an A2 size card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And we're going to pop up our background panel with a piece of fun foam. The fun foam that I like to use, I get from Walmart, and it's adhesive backed. So all I have to do is add double-sided tape to one side, and it's ready to go. For my snowball, it's going to go on the very bottom. I picked the size that was the same size as the width of my frame. So what I'm going to do next is take my scissors and trim it off. So we have a flat edge on the very bottom. The flat edge is going to be on the very bottom of my card base. It's going to basically look like this. Before we do any adhering though, we're going to stamp our sentiment. For this card, I thought it would be fun to put a sentiment that says, "Just sitting here thinking of you," because I love the way this little guy's sitting. It's so cute. It's like he just went kapooey. I felt that way after the Christmas season. But we'll stamp our sentiment with VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And so that's ready to go. And then I have a leftover piece of fun foam. I'm going to trim down about a 3/4 inch strip, and then I'm going to add a piece of double-sided tape behind it and adhere this fun foam directly to my card base. I'll remove the release paper off of my panel and place that in the center of my card base so everything lines up beautifully. Now we're going to take my tape runner and add a little bit of adhesive to the very top of our sentiment. The bottom part I'm not worried about because that's going to hit the foam, which is peeking out just a little bit. So I'm going to actually take my scissors and trim off that corner. And then we'll go ahead and add my sentiment. Lovely. Okay, we're going to add a foam square behind our little polar bear. And normally I like to offset things on my cards. Today I thought we would go right in the center. I think he looks perfect right there in the center, right above the sentiment. I do have some Ranger Stickles. Now these Stickles are called Diamond, and they actually are the same exact color as the Moonstone Glimmer paste. So I thought we'd add some smaller dots in our background. So we have the large ones that we use with our stencil, and then we're going to add some smaller ones just for a little added detail. The sequins that I'm using are from Pretty Pink Posh, and they are it's called a summertime or a summer mix, but I'm just using the orange and the blue that are from that sequin pack. I'm going to add a few here and there. And then I'm going to take my black Jelly Roll pen and darken up my little polar bear's nose. And I don't like that blue sequin, so I'm going to take that one off. I have a spare orange one sitting on my desk. We're going to add that instead of the blue one. And I think that's a little more balanced. But that is my card for today, guys. I did leave the cleanup in, so it's after the close-up picture here. But happy New Year's Eve. I hope your New Year's is full of prosperity, joy, and happiness. Thanks so much for stopping by, guys. I wish you a lovely day, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.